Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to week 4 of our English 101 class. Hooray! You've made it a month into classes. Congratulations, pat on the back. We feel really good about ourselves and the world and everything. So, yay, good job. This week, we get to dive into writing our essay, which is fabulous and exciting and really a good chance to demonstrate our critical thinking skills, our ability to articulate our ideas clearly and concisely, and our ability to use outside sources effectively to support our own analysis of a text. So, really good skills. Awesome. So let's take a look at the calendar and see how we're going to be demonstrating those skills. So this week is designed to help you write your essay. So there isn't a lot of worksheets. There's not a lot of videos to watch. Mostly this time is spent writing your essay. Now, sometimes it can be really daunting to look at your essay and go, oh, I have to write this whole thing. It has to be 3 full pages long. Crazy lady needs it all the way to the bottom of the page. So really it's like 3 pages and a line, which makes it 4. So all of that to say, please do make sure it's 3 full pages long, not including the works cited page. We talked about that in the prompt last week, though. So if you have to write 3 full pages, how are you going to do that? My suggestion would be to set yourself up for success to take it in just little pieces at a time. So if you watched the video from last week about the prompt, the rubric, and the outline, you've got an outline to work with. So consider doing the intro paragraph and your first body paragraph, the one about definitions. Write those today. And then tomorrow you can write the compare and contrast paragraphs. And then you can take a little break on Wednesday and work on MLA format. And then on Thursday, you can write the concluding paragraphs where you talk about like the big picture. Why is this argument significant in terms of how we understand humanity, how we understand ethics and psychology, all of that good stuff. And then you write your conclusion and you make sure your works cited page is excellent. And if you break it down like that, it's really not so terrible. And then you've got something really high quality to submit for the peer review on Friday so that you get really high quality feedback, make your essay even better before I grade it, which is really good to get some other eyes on your essay, get some additional perspectives, because your classmates are here to help you. They want you to help them do well. So they're going to be invested in helping you do well, whereas I'm just going to be grading it. So I do want you to do well, but also I have to take points away when things aren't great. So much better to get a couple pairs of eyes on the essay, get some help making sure it's really excellent before it comes to me for grading. So that's what we're going to be working on this week. I want to talk real quickly about our documenting sources and MLA assignment. You're going to be working on this on Wednesday. It's a chance for you to show me how you use MLA format. And there's a lot of academic formats, maybe not a lot, 3 really popular ones. So MLA format gets used by the English folks and some other groups. There's also APA format, which is used by the sciences and social sciences. And then there's Chicago, which is mostly just used by history classes. So they're silly. We'll just ignore that. So we're going to be talking about MLA format for this class because it's something you're going to need later on in the line for English classes. So I've got an MLA format guide link for you here if you ever have questions about how MLA format works. You got that right there. Here is the worksheet. You can download it, type your answers in, and save it. And that's what you're going to upload as your assignment. And the Don't Confuse Revenge with Justice article is linked for you here, as well as in the modules tab. And that's going to be your source material for this assignment. Because we need to demonstrate a understanding of MLA format in our Project 1 essay. So this is a safer place to practice before we get into the essay, and you can lose points for incorrect citation. Because most of the time, people maybe plagiarize, but it's accidental plagiarism, which maybe doesn't make a lot of sense. It's normally if someone uses somebody else's ideas, like a quote from our Murder on the Orient Express book, or a quote from Don't Confuse Revenge with Justice, but we're not properly attributing those ideas. It's still plagiarism, but it's accidental. So the intent does matter. I want to make sure that we don't even have accidental plagiarism. I'm sure we're not going to have legit plagiarism because you guys are all brilliant and you're writing your own essays and you would never in a million years consider like copy and pasting from somewhere. No, that's not a problem. But accidental plagiarism does happen a lot, especially in English 101 classes as we're learning MLA format. So this worksheet is designed to help us avoid that in our essays so that we can get a good score in the MLA format category. Hooray! So the worksheet is organized in a couple different sections. The first section is recognizing plagiarism. So what you're going to see is an original excerpt. So this is an excerpt from the article. And then you're going to see an example of student work, and you have to determine whether that student work is correct or is accidental plagiarism. So you will describe the errors that you find, and then you will correct it for me here so that I can know that you understand how to avoid this kind of problem in your own writing. So for those of you intrepid, brilliant folks who watch these videos, you get a bonus. I'm going to do the first one for you. Hooray! So, in the original excerpt, it says, it would be convenient to advance the claim that justice is fair and revenge is not. But, as the words just revenge suggest, revenge, depending on its underlying conditions, motivations, and execution, might be either just or unjust, fair or, frankly, outrageously out of proportion to the original wrong done. The title of the article, the author, the paragraph number, everything you need to create a good citation. So, then we see the student try and use this information, and we have to determine whether they do it correctly or not. So we see, according to Dr. Leon Seltzer in his article, Don't Confuse Justice with Revenge, this is great. This is called a stem. It's a great way to introduce a quote. You include the person who said it and the source of the material as you move in to the information you want to give. The stems are very important when you're using quotes from outside sources. And then it goes into, it says, it would be convenient to advance the claim that justice is fair and revenge is not. And you're like, wait, this is starting to sound really familiar. Oh, wait, it is word for word the same as the original excerpt, which would be fine if we put it in quotation marks to tell us it was a quote, but we didn't. We have the citation here at the end that tells us the paragraph number. We have the stem that tells us this is what the author said and where they said it, but we don't have quotes around the material that came from the article, and that's where the accidental plagiarism happens. So we would say this is missing quotes around the material taken directly. Typing's hard. From the source. That's the error. We're missing quotes. And then the easiest way to fix that, I'm going to be lazy and just copy and paste this bad boy right here. According to Dr. Leon Seltzer in his article, Don't Confuse Justice with Revenge, I'm just going to go ahead and put the quotation mark there and at the end of the directly quoted material, and then we fix the problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? That's a saying, I'm sure. So you're going to do this with all the following ones. Excerpt 2 from the text, and then how a student did it, describe the error, and give me a corrected sentence. Once again, an excerpt from the text, how the student did it, tell me the error, and correct the sentence. Then we're going to have some direct quotations. So I want you to write a quotation of one complete sentence. You get to choose. So you're going to have to download that article linked for you. Don't confuse justice with revenge. Use a signal phrase or a stem that includes the author's last name, and then cite the page number or the paragraph number at the end of the sentence. And so you're going to show me how you would use a quote here. We talked about the stem up here at the top. According to Dr. Leon Seltzer in his article, Don't Confuse Justice with Revenge, that is a stem. That is the lead-in signal phrase that they're talking about. So create something like that, and then give your quote and make sure it's cited correctly with the page or paragraph number at the end. Then number 2, write an original sentence that includes a phrase of 3 or more words with a sentence in the same article. Include a signal phrase that contains the author's last name. So you would do a signal phrase that says, Seltzer in the article, Don't Confuse Justice with Revenge, blah, 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 and then give a quote. Now, this one's a little different because we just want a phrase quote. I don't want a big, long sentence quote. I just want you to take a little bit. So, like, maybe 3 to 8 words, not a lot. Find something that's very highly specific language, something that you think is important that Seltzer's saying, and include it in a sentence. So you've got your lead-in phrase, you've got that little fragment of a quote, and then you talk a little bit about the quote in one sentence. That's what we're trying to do right here for number 2. Then we move on to paraphrase. Paraphrase a passage of 1 or 2 sentences from Don't Confuse Justice with Revenge. Include a signal phrase that includes the author's last name. Type the original text above the paraphrased version and make sure to properly cite your paraphrase. Then you're going to summarize. So write a 1-sentence summary using your own words for 4 or more sentences from Don't Confuse Justice with Revenge. And you may wonder, what is the difference between paraphrase and summary? Paraphrase is taking the author's idea, so in this case, 1 or 2 sentences from the text, and putting them into your own words, and then telling us that idea. Your rephrase of the idea should be about the same length as the original. So if you're paraphrasing 1 or 2 sentences, your writing will be about 1 or 2 sentences long. The original text was about 1 or 2 sentences long. Paraphrases are about the same length as the original. Summary is much shorter than the original. So think about summary like a movie trailer in comparison to an actual movie. Much, much shorter, but contains some of the big ideas. So if you're writing a 1-sentence summary, you're going to be taking that idea from a much bigger chunk. So we're looking for 4 or more sentences as your original source text, and you're going to take those ideas and boil them down, condense it, put it in your own words, and make it only 1 sentence long. So take big ideas, make them smaller and more manageable. Make them bite-size. As we're approaching Halloween, instead of a king-size candy bar, it's a fun-size candy bar. Like, make it small. And it does need to be just 1 sentence long. Your source material does need to be at least 4 sentences or more. So that's the difference between summary and paraphrase, primarily, is length. Both are putting ideas into your own words, taking ideas from original source material, making them your own, but one is about the same length as the original, and one is much shorter than the original. And that's the worksheet. Exciting, wonderful. We're stoked to do this. I thought so. So that is the worksheet. The last thing you're going to be doing this week is the peer review. Folks tend to have some big ideas about peer review. They're like, I don't like it. It's not worth my time. But really, the great thing about peer review is it lets you get another set of eyes on your essay. And what I want us to do in these peer reviews is to really, from a place of love and friendship, just like rip each other to shreds. Because by giving a lot of feedback, we're conveying a message that says, I'm invested in your success. I really want you to do well. I'm going to do my utmost to point out areas where you can improve. Whereas if you got an essay back that just had like a smiley face, like, good job, that was super nice. How helpful is that? Like 0. That is 0 help. So if you write a message like that to your classmate, the underlying subtext you're sending is, I don't care if you fail this class, so suck it. Like, that's not what we want to tell each other. That's terrible. So really invest in this peer review process, break down their ideas, rip their essay to shreds, give them lots of really good feedback, so that they can make their essay better, and hopefully you'll receive that great level of feedback too, and your essay is going to be that much better. You get better scores, you get a great grade in this class, you go on and achieve all your dreams. Everything's wonderful because you did a peer review, right? Probably is how that's going to work. So you're going to download the peer response form. You're going to use that to guide your peer review. You're going to put all your comments in this form, and then you're going to upload it back to your classmate, posting it as a response to their essay. All the directions are here. You're going to upload your draft. Once you post your draft, complete the peer response for the person who posted directly below you, and then post that form as a reply to their essay. Pretty easy. If you have any questions about it, please reach out. I'm here to help. I'm really looking forward to seeing how your essays come together, guys. Good luck and happy writing.